The stones were heavy, the men tired, and yet they could not stop, not with the eyes of Pharaoh watching from the shadow of the Great Pyramid. The massive blocks of stone moved up, up, and up, yet no one could explain how it was even possible. But they had to do it. Failure was not an option. In ancient Egypt, under the burning sun, thousands of men worked tirelessly, moving stones that seemed impossible to lift. These were not just ordinary stones, they were massive, each one weighing as much as 5 grown men. And yet somehow they were placed one by one, rising higher into the sky. Pharaoh had ordered the greatest pyramid ever built, a monument that would stand for eternity. It was not just a tomb, it was something more, something no one understood. Among the workers was Darius, a skilled stone cutter. He had spent years carving the hardest rock, shaping them perfectly. But this pyramid was different. Strange things were happening. The workers whispered at night. Some spoke of spirits haunting the site. Others said the stones were cursed. A few even believed that the gods were watching and that they were not pleased. At first, Darius ignored the stories. He focused on his work. But then people started disappearing. One day, a man was carving a stone. The next day, he was gone. No explanation, no trace, and no one dared to speak his name again. The air around the pyramid grew heavier, thicker, as if something unseen was pressing down on them. Darius felt it too. The weight was not just on their backs, it was in their minds. Then one night, he was summoned to the Pharaoh's chamber. The moment he stepped inside, he knew something was wrong. The air was filled with the scent of burning incense. High priests stood around a fire, whispering in a language he did not understand. Pharaoh sat on his golden throne, his eyes dark and empty. "You are close to completing my pyramid," Pharaoh said, "but there is one final step." Darius did not understand. He had spent years carving the stones. What more was there? Pharaoh leaned forward. "This pyramid is not just a tomb. It is a doorway, a passage between worlds, and to open it, a sacrifice must be paid." Darius felt his blood run cold. He wanted to speak, to protest, but his mouth was dry. That night, the wind howled louder than before. The next day, as the workers lifted the final stone to place, the ground beneath them trembled. The pyramid groaned as if it were alive. Then silence. Darius looked up and he saw it, a shadow standing at the very top of the pyramid. It wasn't human. It was something else, something watching, waiting. Then, in a single moment, it was gone, and so was Darius. The pyramid was finished, but the men who built it, their names, their stories, all erased. No one spoke of them again. To this day, the pyramid stands, holding its secrets. How was it built? Who truly made it? And what did they awaken in the process?